Hello, everyone. Welcome. Now, just wanted to say hello to everyone. I do apologize for the there's a couple of problems on the sound today, which I couldn't fix. I hope it's not very annoying for anyone. But if you really listen closely, there's like some kind of interference noise going on the background, you see? I don't know if you can hear it, but it's like a pulse, and I can't get rid of it. I tried. I need to like go through my cables and see what's going on. I hope it's not very annoying for everyone. I hope the sound is still good enough for everyone. And I hope it doesn't drive you nuts, this kind of pulse. I will mute when I don't need to, so that you don't have to like suffer. But do let me know in the chat if you can still hear it, or if it's all good. I'm not sure if you can hear it. I'm actually not completely sure because it's I have my headphones quite high up, so I'm not entirely sure if you can hear it. Anyway, welcome to another edition of Hugo's Desk. This is the Honest Showreel Reviews. This is session 23. I need to like update these numbers because in reality it's not session 23 because I used to do showreels on Twitch. And so I think I'm probably get close to 100. I need to like check and update the number and see what number we're up to. Anyway, today we are going to do two showreel reviews. So as usual, we have two showreel reviews which were booked in advance. And we're going to be here for like about an hour and a half to 2 hours. We have a giveaway, which I've put the link on the chat. The link is there if you want to win the Hugo's Desk Nuke course. Also, if you don't want to wait for the Hugo's Desk Nuke course, you can always kind of just like buy it if you want to. So I have currently a promotion going on. So it's 50% off for the for both courses. I have the main course of compositing at 50% off. I also have the workshops at 50% off, and then I have a bundle with both courses, and that is almost 60% off at the moment. So that's the QR code. If you want to go and join, you can go to the Shopify link. I've put the link on the chat as well. And again, do let me know if the sound is okay for everyone. I do know that there's like a pulsing interference sound on the background, and if I shut up, you'll hear it. You're gonna see. I'm gonna be silent for a moment so you can hear it. You see, there's like some kind of clock or pulse going on here. So somewhere on my cabling, there's like most likely some electrical interference going on. I hope it's not too annoying for everyone. Do let me know in the chat if it's too annoying. I try to mute as much as I can. If it's okay for everyone, then I'll just keep going. But yeah, as I said, and also of course we, as usual, have the Nuke giveaway as well. And that is, of course, for today. By the end of the stream, we'll give away a Nuke course. And that's the link. It's also on the chat. It's on the top of the chat as well. And I have the QR code there. So if you want to join the giveaway, just go for it. It's okay, sir. We can hear it, but it's not annoying. Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for that. I spent like an hour trying to find which cable was producing the problem. I could not find it. I tried really hard, and so I kind of gave up. And I will try later. I think it's probably some raw cable somewhere. It's definitely coming, or it could be from the camera setup, so I need to like find out. Anyway, let's get the show moving today. And as always, you know that these streams are basically sponsored by BenQ. So I would like to take a moment to thank BenQ for the amazing support they've given to my YouTube channel for the last 6-7 years. It's been amazing to have their support like this. And so I just wanted to like give the thanks to BenQ. Without BenQ, I would never be able to do this stream at all, like we do it every 2 weeks, and I would not have the support to actually spend this time with you. Anyway, I'm gonna just show a really quick commercial from BenQ, and I'll be right back to show the support. It's only 1 minute long. They are the sponsors of the stream, so I'll be right back in 1 minute. Okay, we are back. Thank you so much, BenQ, for all the support over the years, and for all the giveaways and all the amazing support on all the events that I've done together with you. So thank you so much for that. Also, just wanted to remind everyone, if you would like to support my wife's book, this is called Green Recipes for All. It's an amazing book. Of course, I'm biased. It's a book with a lot of recipes. They're mostly vegan. Some of them are vegetarian. But you should really take a look if you like good food. You don't need to be vegetarian or vegan to use these recipes. They are really good. The book is, I helped my wife doing the book. The design was done by the two of us, and the photography as well. It's a really nice book. It's for sale on Amazon right now, and I'll put the link on the chat as well if anyone is interested. And so that's the QR code if you want to have a look at it. It's available on paperback, hardcover, and Kindle at the moment. And so if you like to support her project and support small creators like we, just go ahead and buy a copy, or maybe give it to a friend. It's a great gift for someone that likes good food. So that's the that's the spill there. Hi, Hugo. Is this Marshall? This is Marshall? Ah, okay. Hi, Marshall. How are you doing? Sorry, I wasn't like following. So sorry about that. Okay, cool. So if you guys would like to support the book, that's the link. That's the QR code. During the break, you will see a commercial for the book as well. So if you have friends that love good food, consider supporting Anna's book. It's a wonderful book. We spent years doing the book, taking the photos, doing the design, and it's always good to show some support to some small creators. So give it a go. And she has a YouTube channel as well, so which is also called Green Recipes for All, and that one is free, so you can always go there and support it as well. Anyway, let's move on to the showreel. So the first showreel of the day, I'm going to connect and see what happens. As always, as you know, I have a very hard relationship with Google Meet. Let's hope that this works fine. Hopefully it works. Okay, let's see if they are here. So I'm expecting them to be here soon. So Nikolai, if you are in the chat, maybe you can join now and we can get the show running. They did confirm with me today, so hopefully they're gonna come in. Okay, cool. I can see them here. That's great. Okay, So let me just put this in full screen. Just 1 second. Okay, Nicola, can you hear me?
Yeah, most definitely. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. So, Nicola, just the first question I have for you. Would you like to do this just on audio, or are you going to also join on a webcam?
So if I can stay on the audio, that would be awesome.
Of course, not a problem at all. Not a
Thank you
problem.
very much.
Not a problem. So, Nicola, I'll do this then. Since you not to have a webcam, I'll put your showreel going already so that people can start having a look at it. I have not seen it. As I said many times on this show, I like to watch the showreels blind, just like an interview. If I was interviewing someone for the job, I would see them live anyway. So that's what we're going to do today here. So I am running it on my screen right now for everyone to see. And why don't you, Nicola, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm 24 years old. I'm from Serbia. That's a small country in Europe. So I've been doing VFX for maybe a few years, like a side gig, since I was like 2D animator for one of the festivals, one of the major festivals in Europe. I was 2D animator, and VFX was like freelancing stuff. But recently I quit 2D animator job and went VFX in full time.
Okay, and like, I can see your showreel is very professional. Is this mostly professional work, or do you have also personal work here?
There is, I think, maybe one shot that is like my work. You will see it. It's like Spider-Man poster in 3D.
Okay,
But
cool.
most of it is like work stuff.
Okay, cool. And tell me a little bit about yourself. Like you're currently working. Like, are you working locally or working remotely? How is the work right now in your country?
Well, I'm working as a freelancer, so um,
But remotely, or are you
I'm
actually in a facility?
no. I'm fully remote. I don't have any studios to work with. I'm like finding jobs all across the internet and working. Like, I don't know if I can say the freelance site that I work on.
Of course, if you want to. If you don't want to,
Yeah,
it's okay as
I
well.
work on Upwork mostly. So I
Okay.
really don't know about how you do that stuff, but I work mostly on the Upwork. So recently I become a top rated there. That is like 10% of all freelancers. So it's quite good there, and I'm continuing my career there.
Great. That's great to see. That's great to know. And so, the objective of your showreel is this showreel. Are you just showcasing your work to get a review, or are you actually thinking of sending the showreel to someplace? What's your plan with this showreel?
Well, I did send this reel to I don't know how many studios, but there was really no good response from any of them. So that's why I continue to freelance more.
Okay. What kind of responses did you get? Like, did you actually get a response, or did no one contact you?
Yeah, I get response that is mostly like, okay, we did see what you work on. We will put your name in our base. So when a job did come up, we will contact you and something like that. But
How
there was no further response.
how many companies have you sent to? Do you have a rough number?
Maybe like 10.
Okay. Okay. Well, that sounds quite low. So it's probably, I think usually it's like a I don't know. It's not a science, of course, but it's like a 1-2% chance of you getting a response. So normally, if you're only gonna send it to 10 companies, it's probably not gonna get into anything. You probably want to like
Of course, yeah.
consider sending it to 100 companies or something like that. And perhaps if you send it to 100, then you probably will get 2 or 3 responses. It's a big name. It's a big game out there. It's not a lot of work, and there's a lot of artists, and so um, I would consider for you to send it to more people. But did you get any feedback whatsoever, or did they just said that they put you on on the database?
Not really. I think maybe one did said that it's a good work, but they will contact me if
Yeah,
there is a need for me.
yeah. I think most of your work is more like you do have some advanced VFX on the showreel, but there's a lot of the work that is here that it's mostly would be classified as motion graphics, and so I think that could also be the thing. But are you trying to work more towards compositing and film and more realistic work, or are you trying to continue to work on a more graphical approach? What's your objective into the future?
Well, I worked mostly on in the After Effects. So maybe 2 months ago I started learning Nuke, and I think that is the way that I want to go.
I see.
I don't know. I actually did work on the two small movies. One maybe one is American and one is from the Slovenia, where I
Okay.
did some set extensions and phone cleanups and wire cleanups, microphone cleanups, but that isn't in the reel. So because movies really aren't out yet.
Okay, you're waiting for it to come out. Okay, cool. Well, anyway, let's go through the show reel. I think your work is really good, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Let's just go through it shot by shot and have a chat about it. So, okay, so as I can see on the first shot, you mostly work in After Effects, Photoshop, Blender, and you have Nuke quite tiny. Does that mean that you know
Yeah.
it less?
Yeah, of course. That's why I put it smaller.
Um, I'll be honest, like if you're going to send your showreel as a compositor somewhere, it might be because of the After Effects that you might not be getting as many responses as possible, because as much as After Effects is good, Nuke is the industry standard, and so a lot of companies might skip your showreel because they don't want to spend the time getting you up to speed with Nuke, or allowing you to learn it. So I think if you want to become a compositor, Nikolai, you should really become a proficient on Nuke as fast as possible. Not abandon After
Yeah,
Effects.
I'm
I think
working on that.
yeah, continue. That's exactly what you need to do, because I think that will open up your reel to more people, and then maybe you can put the Nuke logo in the front big and then the After
That
Effects
makes
logo
sense.
smaller on the bottom. And then maybe you'll get more response. Okay, let's start with the first shot. So tell us a little bit about what this is.
So is it shot or this image?
Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry, I forgot to share my screen. That's a good I'm so sorry. I must be I am really sorry.
I'm watching the stream right now
No,
on my
no, no,
phone.
no, no.
So
Don't do that. Like, I'll share my screen, because then you can actually see what I'm showing. So hopefully now you can see what
yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, you can see it, and hopefully you can also see it. You can also see it on full screen as well. So let's just. I just wanted to put it in full screen.
I see it fine. I think for me this
No,
is okay.
for the people. You see my mouse as well, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now I'm showing it to everyone as well. Yeah, apologies for that. I thought that I was sharing my screen. So what's going on with this shot? What is this is about? Tell us a little bit about what this is.
This is one shot from the music video I did maybe a year ago.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
So where I have to remove this big crane and to do a bit of the roto around her and to make a building on the right corner, maybe a bit bigger, and to remove a bit of other buildings and to add like a stormy clouds.
Okay. Okay. One thing that I would advise you to do the next time you are doing something like this, like, you should probably consider writing, even if it's small, the text, writing it on the bottom, what you've done on the shot, so that people have an idea of what was done. That's always a good idea, because so that they can immediately know what you've done. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But I really did like 100% of the shot. There was no other artist on this shot, so that's what I thought. There is no need to put
Yeah,
anything.
that's fine. So then what you could do is you at least should say the name of the music video, of what it is, and then
Okay.
maybe you could just say all aspects of comp, or everything, or you can just write that. So it could be simple. It could be just a simple sentence. But But this is really good work, and I think you did a really good job, as I can see. This kind of like the clouds comp and the cleanup looks really good to me. There's like this kind of like extended zoom, crash zoom effect that you've put in,
Yeah,
which I'm assuming
that is a bit of like a stylization of the shot.
Yeah, exactly. So, and the pills are falling down from her hand, and then it's just like, are the pills comped in, or they're part of the plate?
No, they were originally there.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think it's a good shot. Don't really see any problems. So I don't, I don't really see. It's quite tiny, so you've made it quite small on one side of the screen. So, but I can't really see a lot of any problems whatsoever. So, so good job, good work with that. Let's move on to the next one. So tell us a little bit about what this is. Is this a music video as well?
Yeah, that is also the music video. I worked mostly on the music videos.
Okay, cool.
So, okay, for this shot, I made the CG butterflies
Yeah.
in the Blender. I animated them and made like void simulations for them to go up and comped in all the lights.
Okay, cool. And so there was some on-set lighting, as I can see on the original plate, wasn't it, for the interaction lighting?
There was a police vehicle outside.
Okay,
But inside of the car, I think there was nothing.
Yeah, yeah. Because at the moment when I look at this source of light is quite strange. What exactly are you trying to do here? Is it that her body is becoming light, or is it supposed to be a light?
Yes. Her body is transforming like into butterflies. But
Okay.
the director of the music video, he was thinking just to make her glow. There was one other shot where she look at her watch, and in the next shot there is like a glow that is turning off, and she disappears totally.
I see.
There was no like transformation, just few cuts, and then she is like gone. And there are a few butterflies in the cut there flying outside.
Yeah, yeah, I see.
But I just did put one shot.
I see. I see. So my first reaction is that it's really strange that we have so much light on her body and it's really not affecting anything on the car. I feel like you should affect more. I feel like so much light would definitely produce more rim light on her face. It would definitely produce more rim lights on the arm and would illuminate more the interior of the car. Obviously, to do this, you would have to replicate the interior of the car in 3D because it's not really something you could do in comp. So consider that, because I think your light interaction is not enough for such a strong source of light that is on the body. And so I think that's the main caveat I have with the shot. I think the shot is pretty, and I like the butterflies. The butterflies motion blur looks nice, and the way that the shot is composed is really nice as well. It's just really the light direction and the light interaction that is kind of missing, I think you should have done more on that. And I understand that there would have been quite a lot of work to do something like this, because you would have to like kind of, even if it was proxy, you would have to rebuild the entire of the car inside, which would have been a pain. It would have been quite difficult to do, but it would have helped quite a lot, to produce
Yes,
that.
of course.
Yeah.
Maybe I could find some 3D model online, but I wasn't really thinking about that at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. But those are the kind of things that you would definitely would have to consider when you're doing high-end movies or high-end films. Like that is definitely what would be happening. So then there's also other things as well. Like now that you're learning Nuke, you probably know a few more things. Like I kind of missing also like a better diffuse between this line and also the light source as well, and also between the light wrapping of the door and the light behind it. So there's those kind of things missing, because the light should have spilled a bit more into the door as well. So yeah, I think that's also missing. And one thing I would tell you as well is that as much as I know that you're trying to show before and afters, it would be important for recruiters to see the shot full screen. I like this showing me the before and after, but I definitely think you need to show the full screen comp, because it's hard to notice so small what's going on here. You see, I have to kind of like I have a bit of difficulty to, because it's so even if I zoom, it becomes quite pixelated for me to check all the edges and check everything on the shot, you know. So I would recommend to all your comps to do that, because I noticed that you always put them side by side, you know.
Yeah, so I thought that is a good idea. Like I didn't want to make the line that is going across the screen and showing all the elements. I thought this is like the best way to do it, but I think it's not.
This is definitely a good way to do it. Don't get me wrong. It is a good way to do it. I'm not saying you should remove it. I just think that you should show this and then show the full shot. I think you need to do that.
Oh, yeah.
So that we see both. You know, I think that would be a good idea. One thing that someone on the chat noticed, which I didn't even notice that. So Mikhail in the chat just noticed that you have a double flare happening on the first shot, because on the original plate we have one flare.
That is a mistake.
Yeah, and then you have a double flare. So well spotted, Mikhail. I didn't even notice that. So I'm getting old, you see. Like, I don't notice everything anymore. Cool. But thank you so much for helping out, Mikhail. Cool. Okay, so let's move on to the next shot. Yeah, definitely this one. I think the light interaction is definitely missing, and some better diffusing and glaring and light wrapping would need to happen for this to look realistic and to look like photoreal. It looks okay, but I think it could have looked a lot better, you know. Okay, so let's move on to the next shot. So what's going on here? What is this shot about? The motorbike shot.
Well, this is also the music video, but that is really boring shot. I really don't know why I put it in my reel. So I just did make like the lens flare and the trail of the motorbike, and added a little bit of smoke.
Yeah, I think there's because it's here, I'll talk about it. Like I like your trail, although I think the trail is too solid. It would have been nice if it was a bit more broken up, so that it would look like more like a light trail from photography. Usually light trails are not completely solid. They have different variations of light inside of them. Also, your flare is also it looks a bit fake. I'm not sure a red light would make such a big flare. Of course, it depends on the lens and on the camera, but I think it's a bit too much. But my biggest gripe on this shot is, well, there's two things. The light your light trail is actually very static. It's not tracked into the shot. You see, as the camera is moving, the camera shakes, and also the camera tries to follow the motorbike, but your trail is completely static on screen. It's not really attached to the camera, and I feel like that's a bit strange. And the other thing as well is the same thing happens with your smoke. Your smoke looks like it's just on top. It's not actually attached to the plate. You have this kind of plate of smoke that you put in, and you see it's nice that it's covering the camera, and that's a really nice effect that you've catch a really great piece of stock that would work for this shot. But then it doesn't really follow the camera's movement. It doesn't follow the camera shake or the camera trepidation. I think that's a problem. You know, it's not completely integrated, completely tracked into the shot, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. And then the other thing as well is, I mean, my question would be, what is this smoke? Is it like a building burning on the top, or is it from the motorbike? What are you trying to achieve?
Well, now that you ask me, I really don't know. That was just a detail to fill up the shot.
Because at the moment, right now, I'm not sure what like, if it's supposed to be from the bike, then it's on the wrong place. But then if this is a tunnel, you know what I mean? Like why is it there? Like, and and that's why maybe it looks a bit strange that it's there. It's almost like if you want to try to put it more connected to the bike, it should have been lower, so that it's not so above. So I don't know. You already said it on the review that you don't like the shot. I think if you don't like the shot, you should take it out. Because
Yeah.
if you don't like it, no one is going to like it. So you should consider that and have it maybe remove it, maybe maybe put
Yeah, I will
something else.
definitely remove it.
Yeah, because it's not really helping you, I think, in that way. Okay, cool. So let's move on. Mikhail has some good points there. Make trail 3D moving will with scene and light up. Maybe be ground from trail. It would sell it more, I think. Yeah, Mikhail has a good point there, but I think you should remove it anyway. I don't think it's good enough for the rest of the showreel. So, tell me a little bit about what this is.
So that is also a music video that I worked on last year, and I did make like the whole environment and the glass breaking.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay, cool. So, first up, I think let's start with the key and the roto. It looks good, although I think it's again very small, so I can't really judge the edges very well. So I'm not entirely sure of the edges and the hair detail on your key because you've made it so small. So I can't judge that. What I can judge, what I can see, it looks okay to me. What doesn't really look okay to me is the way of the environment. I think the environment, unless this was in purpose trying to achieve that, I think the environment looks very CG. It doesn't really look very realistic. And that has to do because was that the objective, or was it supposed to be more realistic?
it was really not the point to make like a full realistic box. It was like they said like put her in that environment. It's just important to have like CCTV cameras in the back, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so then I won't judge that. But what I would say is that I think your glass breaking, if you want it to look better, I think there's two things happening. First of all, I think it needed smaller chunks and smaller little bits in between the big bits. That's one thing that it should have, like, so it would have little micro pieces of glass and other little smaller parts of glass. The other thing as well is that I think your scene, your 3D scene, probably has too much black around, because as you can see, you're picking up a lot of black on the sides of the glass. I think you should probably put like a studio environment on the back of the CG scene, so that you would have picked up less blacks on the sides of the glass, because it's very distracting to have so much black. And if they would photograph this for real, if they would have done this for real, the DOP, the cameraman, and the director of photography would definitely try to put white blockers on the back and white, like basically bouncers, to try to have more diffusing and more white in the middle.
Yes,
also,
that makes sense. I think I didn't have any like HDRI in the environment. I think I just have rectangular lights and that's it.
Yeah, that's right. And again, also, I think you're missing motion blur as well on the glass as well, especially when it breaks as it hits. And also, like, I think your frame 1 is too far off. So you see, she hits the glass here, and in frame 1, it's already all broken. I think you're missing a few frames before. It's like it should have had a breakup when it hits that, and then it breaks a bit more on the center, and then it should have a few more frames, because it's supposed to be a slow motion shot. And so I'm not really feeling the slow motion. Like, she moves normal motion, but then the glass is in slow motion. You know what I mean? It's a bit strange, if you think about it, the different speeds, and yeah, and I think that's it really. Like, I think it's the majority of the problems I have with that shot is the black edges. Then one last thing that I would say is that this glass is extremely thick. And the thing with this is that if the glass was that thick, well, first of all, she would never break it with that little bat because it's so thick. And the other thing as well is the glass being so thick would produce a lot of magnification in between the glass and her, because when glass is that thick, it magnifies a lot. It's like if you go to aquariums, the glass on aquariums is quite thick, and you can see that it's magnified when you look at the fishes because of the the massive thickness of the glass. If the glass is less thin, like if it's thinner, then you won't get so much magnification, especially between the scene and looking at her. I don't see almost any difference between the plate behind and the plate in front. You see, there should be more refraction displacement going on between her and the back, especially we see here on the face as well. So I think that's another thing as well. And then, like Mikhail is just pointing out, I think the point of impact should be the top of the bat. It should be there, and the point of impact is on the middle. It's almost like she head butted the glass, and so you need to like put the head, the impact point where the thing is. So this shot has quite a few things that I think would need to be done for it to improve. You know.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So I hope you don't get. I hope we don't. You know, don't become upset or become sad about all the feedback. I'm just like trying to give you as much feedback
not
as possible.
at all. You're talking about the stuff that I really never think about, with the size of the thickness of the glass and all the distortions. I that never came to my mind to think about that.
Yeah, cool. I'm trying to get as much constructive feedback as possible. One thing I wanted to ask you, something must have happened on the shot itself on the plate. I can see that there's like some kind of retiming happening, because there's some artifacts of retiming. Was the shot speeded up by the editor, or did someone do something to the shot?
I think I did slow it down, but not at that part.
Yeah, because you
can
the
play
plate,
it a little bit.
The bat becomes two bats there, so you get like basically this artifact of the second bat, then it becomes two, then becomes two again, and then becomes one, and then there's two again. I think it's your retiming, your I don't know what you're using for slow motion, if it's a plugin or if it's After Effects directly, but whatever you're using, it's producing quite a lot of artifacts on the shot. Now, we hardly see them on the comp, but it should still be more clean, because this is going to, of course, affect your keying and everything. So maybe consider checking what went wrong there, what happened, you know. It could be like the retime.
Yeah, I will, yeah.
Okay, cool. Moving on to the next shot. Okay, so tell us a little bit about this.
Well, that is also a music video where I did a bit of a cleanup on his legs. I have to delete the orange. I don't know what it is.
The holder, yeah,
but you can see
the holder here, yeah.
I have to straighten up his legs a bit, because on the left shot they are going a bit inward.
Okay,
so I have to make them more straight, and the director wanted those eyes and a bit of fog or something. So
okay. Cool.
That's all the story.
Cool. So that's the original plate. So once again, I keep saying this to all your shots. I think it's a shame that we don't see them a full screen, because I would have liked to see it in more detail. But as far as I can see, even though it's very small, I think the cleanup looks okay. I think it looks nice. My main note for this would be the light up of the eyes. And so when you look at your plate, the real plate, you can kind of see that there's like these bokeh effects on the lights on the back of the building. So you have these like really hot spots on the building of people, you know, I'm guessing that's like just apartments, an apartment building. And when I look at the eyes that you put in, your eyes they don't have a peak of light. They're very clamped. The only one that has a peak of light is the one on the left here. And I feel like that's a more realistic core glow that you have there. The other ones look a bit strange. They look very dulled down. They look almost like they have no core light. So I think you should put a core light, like one little dot on the middle of each of the eyes, and that would be the source of light. I think that would become a bit more realistic if you would have put that in. And then the smoke, the weird thing about it is that it's reversed.
It's reversed.
Yeah. So besides being reversed, which is strange, the other thing is that the smoke is very much stuck in on top. And so I'm not suggesting that you would go on and do a rebuild in 3D to do deep compositing to try to comp it in. But I feel like it should have, these guys in the front should be less covered by the smoke. And then, of course, the guy on the back is correctly, maybe would be a bit less, and then the back would have more smoke. So I think you should have used the mask of him to try to have him with less smoke, and then the ones on the front should have been masked out so that they would be less affected by the smoke on the front as well, so that you would have a more deep effect.
Yeah, more depth on the shot.
Yeah, between the smoke effects. And definitely I think it shouldn't be reversed because it's very distracting, you know. So
I really can't remember, but I think that was like director's idea.
Okay.
But I really can't remember.
But let's just blame it on him. If the director had that idea, that's his fault. Because so then forget about that comment. But I definitely think a bit more work should have been done on trying to implement the smoke in between the layers of all of these different layers. Because obviously this guy is in a different depth location than these dudes, you know. So
yes.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Okay, cool. So next up, what's going on here with this this dude?
I think that is the same artist, and I have to like make the whole composition of him. So to clean the green screen and that thing that he's hanging on, and to comp everything.
Okay, cool. Okay, so first off, I think this looks good. I think you did a good job. I feel like, again, this is very small, and you're really getting me confused now. So now you've put the comp on this side. You always have the comp.
I noticed that too after the export.
No, because now I was
mad at myself.
So it's very hard to judge the edges because it's so tiny, but it looks to me like...
When I look at it now, I think there should be more light wrap maybe around him.
Yes,
definitely. Especially on the top.
Definitely, yes. There should be more light wrap, but it's hard to tell about the edges. It does seem to me like you have a little small black edge around the head here and on that side as well. I feel like there must be a little couple of pixels fringe that are on the edge there. It's hard to tell because this is so small, of course. And then the other thing as well is, obviously I know that from a stylization point of view, you put all this motion blur and all this displacement. That looks really cool. That's all good. I like your stones as well. I think they look nice, and some of them go in front, some of them go in the back. I think that's looking cool. Again, you see you have actually a core of light on the eyes, which is nice. I think that's what's missing on the other shot, on the other dudes. And then the smoke coming out of the eyes looks cool as well. So I think this shot looks nice. It's a nice shot. You did a good job with the interaction of lighting on the eyes here. So it's a really nice shot. Again, I would have loved to see this full screen. I only think the only thing that I really can spot is, like you just mentioned, the light wrap. And of course, I do think there's a bit of an edge on his head, on the key, which I don't see on the plate. I don't see that on the plate. So you probably want to see that there. And then one last thing that I would just mention, and this I think has to do with the lighting that they've used on set. Let me just go back to the beginning of the frame. So, you see, right now, one strange thing that is happening here is that you see the light hits the top of his head and then it goes through the body. And so you can see the back of the head is almost not lit up. It's almost like the spot is just hitting mostly the front. And right now your spot is behind him. I feel like which is okay. You can have the spot behind, but then you need to have light on the front as well. So you should have had the light more to the front. So you should have had volumetric lighting coming through his face. So we should have seen a volume light coming across here, and a volume light coming across there, and another one coming across there, because this is so atmospheric.
Yeah,
with
that
dust.
would make this shot the next level.
Exactly. You need the volume light there. And the other thing as well is this lighting here, I think it's a bit too dull. I think it's a bit clamped. It needs to have a little bit more punch because it's so powerful. You see how much highlights you have on the jacket, and this is very dull. I would never believe the light so weak would produce so much shadows, you know. So this needs to be pumped up with more white, and then the volume light. Now, if you're learning Nuke, in Nuke, if you go to Nuke, you can use the luminosity plate, the luminance of a plate, to make a volume light. There's a node in Nuke called volume rays, and it would produce something like that, you know. Yeah, that would have worked.
I will definitely check that out.
Yeah, and then Mikhail has, and of course, the volume also would affect more subtly, of course, but it would affect the stones in the front. So the ones that cross in front of him would also be affected by that volume light, you see? So they would have also have a little, tiny little volume coming through. And Mikhail has a good point with something about here, which the light, when you look at the plate, the light is quite warm, and then you have a very cold light on the comp, and you haven't changed the color temperature of him. So if you would have had such a cold light, you wouldn't be warm. It wouldn't you wouldn't stay so red. It would be a lot colder. Either put the light warmer or put him colder, you know, so that you match the light temperature between the two shots. Cool. But it's a nice looking shot. I think you did a lot of really cool stuff on this shot. So so well done there, you know.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So tell us a little bit about what's going on here.
So that is just a cleanup of a music video.
Cool. Finally, we get to see something in full screen.
So yeah, I had like to remove all the wires, but most of the shots were static. I had to do like 4 of those shots. I did put 1, but most of the work, I think it was static.
Oh, look, you have a perfect example of that volume that I was talking about.
Yes, I see it.
You see the light source as well. You see how it becomes really hot and it progressively goes lower. You're missing that. You see, that's what I was mentioning on this shot here. So you look at, you see, I'm missing that core light.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. It's very, one thing I'm confused about, they shot it with all this atmosphere, but then on the comp, it's all gone. So did they remove the atmosphere on the final shot?
Well, this actually is the intro shot.
Okay,
where
so
the
that's
stage
another
is like moving left and right.
So this is another shot. Okay, sorry.
Yes,
I was confused.
Yes.
I was confused about it. Oh, I see. Yeah. I mean, again, I think you did a really good job with the cleanup. You've kept
on the left side there is some artifacts.
Oh, okay, I can't really see them. Maybe it's because it's so
when you hit play, I think you will see it.
But is that?
You can see it
yeah,
now.
I see there. Is that not the compression? It's actually on the plate.
I think that is on the plate.
Okay, I see. Okay, yeah, I see. Yeah, I think, and on the other side. Did you? You're telling me that it has an artifact already on the comp. I thought it was a compression from the compression of the H64, but did you? Why didn't you fix it then? If you saw it, is it because you ran out of time?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. This was a really intense project.
Okay, I see. I see. Well, I think you did a good job if you ran out of time. You know.
Yeah,
Okay.
and also on top of this, I think there was like a really heavy color correction.
I see.
So
I see.
there was a way too much noise on top of this and way more contrast. I think in the final video it's not visible,
Okay, I see. I see.
but that's not really the argument. I could make that better, but I was out of the time.
You ran out of time. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it happens, man. We ran out of time all the time on these kind of shots. we always I always ran out of time. Like I always feel like I feel like I never finish anything. I feel like I actually never end up finishing anything. I just ran out of time. That's the feeling I have whenever I do a job. Yeah, these shots are good. Like I like the way that you've cleaned up. If you had limited time, I think you did a good job. Of course, it is lacking a bit of detail. You can kind of see it's a bit too blurry on your cleanup. But, you know, again, if you ran out of time, I don't really think it's a big deal. You need to be careful one thing when you do this on a film company or if you do it on a more professional project. You see that your lights are not on the same place. So when you clean up, you're changing the background. Usually directors don't like that. They don't like that you've changed the set. You see, this lamp is not in the same place. So be careful with those kind of things in the future, so that you make sure that this looks exactly the same, unless someone asks you to change it, of course. That's a different
No,
thing.
no. That was my mistake.
Okay, cool. So because sometimes they do ask. Yeah. Just going frame by frame, see here the rest. You also like made up quite a lot of things here on her hair, so you've added hair to her head. Not sure was that a feedback from the client or was it something that you've made?
Not really.
Okay,
No.
so be careful with that. It looks like you've stretched her head a bit.
Yeah, that's the effect that like stretches the. It makes the cut in the middle and then stretch the pixel towards it to remove the wire.
I see.
So because it's a straight wire, that was the quickest way to do it.
Yeah, and you have a problem producing this as well. The wire is now not connecting, so it's like cut here. So it's actually not completely connected because you've kind of lost this. It should have been this wire of the lamp should have been straight here, and now it's not anymore. So be careful with those kind of things, so that it's like a bit more exact. And then what else? This side here. So that was just a tiny. What is that?
Yeah, removing some trash, I think.
Okay. Cool. And then these are the same as well. So you've made some background changes there. Cool. Some good rotoscoping going on here, although you are missing some details. So you see
Yeah, I
here,
lost the detail in the hair.
yeah, and also on the shoulder pad here, you can kind of see you've lost this little piece of detail, and you have a little bit of a black edge around the shoulder pad, which was not there. So this is something could be fixed inside of Nuke by using an edge extender. So you can definitely fix those kind of things where you could cut the edge and then rebuild it with the color of the interior instead of the color of the exterior. That would have helped.
Okay.
And yes, you're missing that hair. Yes, on the face.
Yeah,
also,
that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
you're missing that as well. You're also missing detail on the top there, so you've made it more straight as well. So there's quite a lot of missing things on her hair, quite a lot of missing things on the rotoscoping that you've kind of like cut off from details, which you need to be careful. Also, we're missing this. You see, there should have been like pieces of hair here and the connection with the suit, which you've now removed a little bit too much, and now it's like a straight line. So this should have been a bit more smoother and had more detail as well. So be careful with these things, because it's quite clumsy work in like from a compositing point of view, which like a supervisor or someone trying to hire you might not enjoy seeing that. So be careful with those kind of things.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So then, yeah, that's the wire removal. So that's quite nice. Poor bulls. Why are they being used like this?
I think those are actually not bulls. They are some cow.
There's some kind of cows. Okay.
I think yes.
Okay. It's very pixelated, but it looks to me like your cleanup is just a blur brush here. So you need to be careful with these things. That should really have the rest of the hair there. So this looks very much like a blur brush going on top. Be careful with these kind of things. This is very sloppy work. That would, like, these could be the little details that could be making people not replying to you on your job offer, because if some composer or some supervisor watches your show reel, they will notice these things, so be careful having them on your show reel, because it just gives me the, if I didn't know you, I didn't talk to you, I just got your show reel, I would have kind of thought, this is a bit sloppy work, and I would have skipped your reel and went to the next one, so be careful with those kind of things.
But I think that just happens on the one frame.
Yeah, but then
I
remove
think
this
so.
or clean it up or remove this shot, because
it
happens throughout. The entire line is poorly removed, so I definitely think you should remove this shot. It's not good enough. The other ones were okay, but this is not good enough. That one is not good enough. You can kind of see it right away, Okay, cool. So next up we have a screen replacement. And tell us about this. Is this a commercial or is it also a music video?
That is a commercial that I did for the festival that I work on, that I mentioned, that I was 2D animator.
Okay, cool. Okay.
So that's just a quick comp.
Yeah, really good job with the reflection.
Yeah, but in the reflections you can also see like the tracking marking that I didn't remove.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You're trying to get away with it, but it's still there. So that's a problem, of course. The tracker should have been there. What I would advise you to do, if you have very little, when these kind of situations happen, if you have very little time to do it, because obviously this would require you to do an extensive cleanup, If you have very little time, what I would suggest you to do is to get a mask here. Just get a soft mask here, and with a blur edge, like with a feather, and just use color correction to try to flatten the black level into a more gray area, and to basically get this black to be like this dark here, you see? So maybe lift it so that instead of being pure black, it would be this kind of warm, dark area of the eye. And then the white, you should make it warmer so that it matches this skin tone. And so if you would put like a mask here and make the white like the skin tone, the black like the dark areas of the face, and then blur a bit just the middle, no one would ever notice it. You know what I mean?
Yes, but now that I think about this shot, what do you think? Can like Nuke's Copycat do something about it?
It's hard to tell. I mean, perhaps not. Copycats on Nuke is, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You would have to give it a go. If it doesn't work on Copycat, the solution I just provided is really fast. It's quick, really quick.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, of course it is. I was just thinking when now I saw this, since I didn't knew about the Copycat at the moment. Yeah, so I'm just not thinking about it.
But Copycat is not a solution for everything. Keep in mind, like Copycat works sometimes, but I think the solution I just told you would work. So what I would suggest you to do is to try it in Copycat and see what happens. if you can get a good cleanup. And if it doesn't work, maybe then... But even if you do it in Copycat, remember, you would still have to rebuild the face completely. Because for Copycat to work, you need to give him 1 frame of reference or more. So you would still have to, like, give him a truth. You see, you would have to give a full cleanup of the face and then tell him, okay, this is what I want the face to be. And you would have to do that a few times. And then Copycat would try to do the interframes in between. So Copycat would still... You would still need to do some cleanup. It would still need to happen because it wouldn't automatically understand what to do there. Yeah, and then...
Yes, your way is definitely faster than Copycat, since you have to learn all the stuff.
My way is a nasty cleanup, like quick, like... It's the kind of thing that we used to do in commercials where the producer comes to my desk and they say, we have 20 minutes and we just come up with something. That's that way. Obviously, if this was a film, they would have spent some time on Copycat and maybe on some AI tools trying to do it, or they would have tried to clean up by hand. So it depends on the budget and depends on the delivery time you have. It all depends on how much time you have to do it, you know. So I think that would work. Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, there's some suggestions here on the chat about doing 1 clean plate and then track it in. I'm not entirely sure, guys, that would work. The reason for that is because
her face is moving.
Yes, not only your face is moving, but we have parallax between the parallaxing between the hair and the face. So the parallaxing would be lost if they would have done what people are saying here on the chat, you know. So I think but the other way as well. So we have a second solution, which would be which takes a bit longer, but it's what Mikhail is suggesting, which is to track the reflection and stabilize it completely. This is a very common practice in Nuke, where you would completely stabilize with 4 points the image, and with the stabilization image, you then use the paint to actually rebuild the face frame by frame. But you have a completely stabilized image, so that means you can rebuild it with brushes and you can rebuild it with patches because it's completely stabilized. And then once you're done with your cleanup, you then need to apply the stabilization, but you need to invert the stabilization, and then it will move like the original. This is a very common practice in Nuke, and so that would also be a solution, the one that Mikhail is suggesting. Very common practice in Nuke compositing, you know. So maybe that's also an opportunity. So you have a few options here. You can try it on Copycat. You can try it with a 4-point stabilization, or you can try it with some masks, like I was suggesting. Like, there's a couple of ways of trying to deal with this.
Yeah.
Now,
that's why definitely I'm learning Nuke more, and I'm ditching the After Effects.
Yeah. Now, one last thing is the tracking. The tracking is not completely stuck. So, especially when you look at, you see this letter here, Shutter Max, here at the corner. You can kind of see it's shaking. You see the hands icon here. You see it's moving in and out, in and out. So you have a bit of tracking problems on the shot. It kind of jumps quite a lot, the track. So the screen is not attached on the beginning of the plate. It's a bit better later, but it's definitely jumping around. You would have to go frame by frame and try to track it better, you know. So your track is just a bit off. Yeah. Compositing wise, this looks great. Like the way that the text is put in, the interface of Instagram, that all looks good. If anything, it looks to me like it's slightly stretched. So it looks to me like the aspect ratio, because you can see it from the circle here. This is not a circle. So I think the aspect ratio of this phone is not the same aspect ratio of this piece of image that they gave you. Because you can see it from the circle. It's not a perfect circle. So you would have to like not stretch it and maybe rebuild the the bottom on the top. You could add, you can maybe squash it a bit and maybe add black on the top and black on the bottom so that you have a bit bigger image on top and bottom, you know.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, cool. So tell us a bit what this is. I'm quite curious.
Oh, okay. That is another music video that I worked on. That I was on set and make the photogrammetry models, and then I just did quick scene in the Blender, and I rendered that and make a quick composite in the After Effects.
Okay, cool. And so how did you, like, what was your process of doing this photogrammetry? You just used normal photography, or did you use a different tool for scanning? What did you use?
No, I think I used the app on the iPhone to scan her.
Okay, cool. Cool. It's not very detailed, the scan. It's lacking quite a lot of information.
Yes, yes, of course.
Yeah. So normally, to get a more high resolution scan for this kind of thing, I would advise to use like more photos using a DSLR and take hundreds of photos around the person or something. That would give you a better scan than this because it's a bit low resolution, and the result is that she looks like she's made of stone. Is that the objective? Because she looks like yeah.
It wasn't the goal to make it like realistic.
Okay.
It was just a filler shot for the music video.
Okay, I see. If that's the case, then I really don't have much to say, because it does look a lot like she's very artificial. It looks like she's made of either a mixture of
some kind of the wax.
Plaster, or either plaster painted or stone or something like that, you know. But there are some good-looking shots. Okay. Okay. So, Mikhail is mentioning a quite cheap trick to check tracking, which is really a good idea. So if reverse tracking is not moving and shaking much, then the track is good. So you could do a reverse track to see if it's shaking. So again, those kind of things are typical things that we usually do in Nuke. So as you learn more and more Nuke, if you are learning it from a proper source, like if you're learning it from a course or you're learning it from someone online that knows what they're doing, because there's a lot of really bad tutorials on YouTube. So if you learn from the correct sources, then they will teach you good tracking methodologies that we use in the industry, you know. So maybe have a look at that. Have a look at how those kind of processes are done in terms of tracking.
Okay, I will do.
Yeah, and always be careful with the source. So whenever are you learning Nuke in YouTube? Is that what you're doing?
Mostly, yes.
Yeah, so be careful with that, because I would say that 90% of YouTube videos are pretty bad. So my trick to do this is, whenever you look for Nuke compositing tutorials, try to find out what is the name of the person that did the tutorial. So here's the trick. Like, if you can't find the name, then you should skip the tutorial, because then the person is hiding itself. So you shouldn't even consider it. If you can find the name, then you should go to LinkedIn and see what this person has done. And you should go to Internet Multi-Database and see what they've done as well, depending if they're a commercial director or if they are a commercial compositor or if they're a film compositor. Obviously, if they're a film compositor, they would have credits on Internet Multi-Database. If they're a commercial compositor, then you would have to find out their personal portfolio or website or showreel. And make sure the person teaching you has at least 5 years experience and has worked on some companies. Because if you can't find who is teaching you, and you can't find anything about the person, and you can't even find credits to this person, then I would be very suspicious on what I'm learning from them, you know? So be careful with that.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So always do a bit of an investigation before you commit to watching videos on YouTube, because I tell you, man, from experience, it drives me mad. YouTube videos are sometimes some of the shittiest tutorials I've seen in the world, and some techniques are so bad that I'm like, how is this person even has the courage to do these videos? Or like, Sometimes it's just really shocking on how bad some videos are. So be careful. Be careful with that.
Thank you for the advice.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so tell me a little bit about this. What's going
Well,
on here?
that is my project that I did after watching a Spider-Man movie. So basically,
You got
I
inspired.
download, yeah, I downloaded a bunch of the models and assets and just made the scene.
This looks cool, man. This looks really cool. It's really nice. Really nice. Nice work. Is it all Blender and After Effects?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Mikhail is saying TikTok tutorials are the worst. Mikhail, I didn't even know there were TikTok tutorials. What
Me
the
neither.
fuck? What? You're watching tutorials on TikTok? Oh my god. People, don't do that. I didn't know. As you probably all know, I don't have a TikTok account, so I don't really check. This is really nice work, my friend. Really nice shot. So you did a really good job. I feel like if you want to bring this to the next level, here's a couple of things. First off, I think you should either render motion blur with higher samples on, so that you have more motion blur. I'm missing more motion blur on your scene, especially the grabbers, like the octopus, the duct oct grabbers here are not motion blurred enough. I also think that if you bring this into Nuke, you can probably let me just go back a bit here. So, well, no, actually, I think this looks nice. It's really just the motion blur. I mean, maybe it would have been. Did you do the animation as well, or was it already pre-animated?
The claws were no. I think that was a rig. I animated the rig,
Okay,
but
okay, cool.
there was pre-made rig with the arms. But I animated everything.
Yeah, this could be an excellent opportunity for you to go to Nuke and try to do this in Nuke, because this is the perfect type of thing to do in Nuke. Because in Nuke you could export the AOVs from Blender into Nuke, and then you can play around with the different refractions, reflections, AOVs, and speculars, and try to build more detail on his body, and also try to maybe make a better glow as well. Definitely you need an exponential glow to make it a bit less After Effects to see. You know, like this looks really like an After Effects glow. It needs to, like an exponential glow gives it more wrap. You would see more glare and you would see more wrap coming through. So you would have a core and then more like scattering of the diffuse lighting coming through, which would have been nice. And the other thing as well is when these flashes happen on the back, which is the lightning source, would have been nice if they would have affected the 3D. So I think you should have had a light in 3D to do the flashes of lightning as well, like you did with the other ones, you know. So the final one is not really producing any lighting or light or rim lighting. So that one should really, you should have a rim light there. You should have a rim light. It should have did backlight there as well. It should have lit up this side of the octopus as well. So there's a couple of things that should have happened there, you know.
Yes.
Cool. One thing I would tell you is that when you're showing this on a showreel, this is very distracting to have the blurred sides. I would just put black.
Okay.
It's really distracting. I know this is a common thing to do on YouTube and on social media, but I would not do it on a showreel. Okay, last shot. I think it's last shot, right? Yeah, no, it's not the last shot. So, okay, so this one. Tell us a little bit about this. Hello? Did I lost you? Oh, I think I lost you. Uh-oh. Just a second, everyone. I think I lost connection. For just a second there. Oh no. Okay, wait a minute. I think I lost connection. Did I lose connection? I think so. Oh man. I think I went down. My internet went down. Oh yeah, it's back now. I think it's back now. Let's see here if it's back. Yeah, I believe so. Are you back? I think you're back. Let me just see if I think I had some kind of like hello there. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, hi.
Yeah. I think
I don't know what happened, but
yeah,
but
yeah, I think
sorry, what?
the stream went down or something. Apologies for everyone.
Yeah,
I think the stream went down for like a couple of seconds. But I think let me just check with the chat. Are we back? Can everyone hear? I don't know if it was actually down for everyone, or did it went down, or
my Google Meet just froze. I don't know what happened. I went to the
yeah,
YouTube and everything was working, but just whole Meet
yeah,
was down, so I had to
yeah.
reconnect.
I think we are back again. I'm just waiting for the chat to tell me if we're back or not. Can someone tell me if we are live? Okay, everything is working fine. Okay, cool. Yeah, they can hear me. Yeah, we just went. Yeah, it was on my side. I think my internet just had a bit of a hitch. Yeah, cool. We're live. Okay, cool. Ah, excellent. So it was just on my side, and then your connection broke because the what I have here is my stream is going through a separate box, and so the stream continued doing it, but I lost you on my computer, so that's why.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, so tell me a little bit about this hellfire here going on.
Okay, so I on the stream on the Google Meet I can see your
Oh yeah,
screen
that's
if you're
right.
sharing.
I didn't gave you. Yeah, I need to like reshare my screen. Sorry about that, because we started this again. So there would have been that one. Hopefully you see it again.
Okay, that is the same music video as there was bike with the trail and the guy where he was hanging from the top. So that is the same music video, just other scene.
Okay, I see. So, well, what can I say? Jesus, these people on the cars are quite relaxed about this, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like just strolling through the street, like no problem. We're fine. Like no problem. Like you know. Also, this person here is like, yeah, it's fine. Wait, it's all good. I think it's a person, isn't it? Like, is it a person there? It looks like
Oh,
there's a
probably.
person there. Yeah. So it's like that meme of the person having a cup of coffee and everything is on fire. It's a bit like that. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah. So how did you do this? Like, tell us. Like, is this CG? Is it elements? Like, what? How was this done?
Well, the fire is all elements.
Okay.
I really can't remember where did I download them, but it's all I that did the 3D track of the camera and then just placed the elements everywhere and made a bit of a glow on the buildings, on the windows to have the reflection of the fire. And I think I added some kind of heat distortion, and that's it, I think.
I see. Well, first off, you have a couple of things that I would say that are strange. First off, this is very peculiar. Why do we have these blobs of yellow on this building? I'm not sure what this is coming from. So for some reason, you see, when I look at the building itself, we have light sources inside, and somehow these light sources exploded. They're super bright, so it almost looks like they're burning as well. Is that the objective, that they're also burning?
No, I wanted to make like the glass is reflecting the fire.
Okay. I think you went too far, because it's almost like these people are also on fire, you know. Also, the reds, I think not only the reflection is too high, but the red is too much. This would not produce so much red, you see. What usually happens on fires is that, yes, you get a bit of red, but you also get light. And so I think it would have been more lit up with a
Okay.
warmer light. So instead of being pitch red, which is too red and too yellow, I think it should have been a bit colder because this is a cold environment. It should have just been slightly less saturated and a bit brighter. So it's less saturation, more brightness
Okay.
on that sense. And then the heat haze is too much. Like, you see, this much fire is quite, like, this is a quite large wide shot, and fire heat, usually the heat haze is as small as the flames, and so the heat haze would have been small and tiny, and you would have seen quite like the heat haze would have been very small detailed. It wouldn't have been like that, you know. It wouldn't have been so large and wavy. You have too much waves going on the heat haze. It needs to be more small with more detail and more a wispy heat haze.
Okay,
And also it
yeah.
should be smaller. It should be on top of the fire and not really on the buildings. The buildings are too far away to be affected with that much heat haze, you know? So
Yes, yes, I understand.
because the heat would go up, and so these would not be affected. The heat haze would only affect this building because it's in front of
Okay,
it.
yeah, that makes sense.
And then the heat haze, instead of being so wobbly, because it's quite large, the waves, it should be really tiny. They should be as small as the fire itself, you see, because that's the
Yes.
scale of your heat haze. And the same goes to the side here as well. Should be much smaller. This one as well. This one as well. All of your heat haze is way too much, you know. So basically, what did you use to make the heat haze?
Well, I think I just used some plugin. I don't know, it's from the video copilot, but
Okay.
it
Well,
was just on the adjustment layer above everything,
okay.
tweak it a bit, and that's all.
Okay. Well, first off, I'm glad that you're learning Nuke, because that's the first thing you're gonna do is not use Copilot anymore. Don't use it. And what this would be done in Nuke is that you would pick up this fire and use an iDistort node, or you would use a glass node. And then what we use is you could use the same layer of fire, stretch it a bit higher, and use it as the displacement of itself. You could do that
Okay, yeah.
to do it as a displacement. Then other things that I would say is that if this is on so much fire, it is very strange that there's no fire inside the building. So you see, this rooftop looks like it's completely burning from inside because it's already went through the roof and the entire building is engulfed in flames. And so I'm missing flames coming through these windows. You should have, at least the windows should be red and they should be lit up inside. The same way you have lights inside here, all of these should be lit up with red, and some of them may be fire coming out of the windows. Same goes to these windows on the top there, and the whole thing should, if it's really this much fire, it should really be lit up inside as well, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's a good looking shot. It's just that it's missing quite a few things to make it exceptional, you know. I think
Yes, of course.
yeah. So, but well done. I think now the fire itself looks great. I think it did a great job with the fire and the smoke and the, I would say maybe the embers are a little bit big. If you look at the
Yes,
scale,
they are. They are a bit big.
yeah, they look like football balls. So maybe you need to make the embers a bit smaller, and they're really fast. Just look at how fast they're flying. This amber is probably going at 50 miles an hour. Look at how fast it is. So you need to be careful with the speed of it because it breaks the scale of your shot. You know. So yeah. Okay, cool. So next up, we have this girl on top of a. What's going on here?
Well, that is just from the same music video with the photogrammetry. That is also just some filler shot
Okay, cool.
that need to have like the words going around her.
Is this a set, or did you comp her into this background?
She's on set.
On set,
Just
okay.
the letters are.
I would say this shot is really not necessary on your showreel. It's not really showing anything of your skill sets. it's not really producing anything in terms of consequence, in terms of compositing. You know, like it's, except if you would have comped her somewhere. Like I think it's not good enough to be on your showreel because it's just, you know, it's just a piece of spinning text around
Yeah,
her.
it's boring.
Yeah, yeah. And then you have this. So what is going on here?
So that is actually my first VFX shot. So
Cool.
that is music video I did maybe back in 2000. Maybe I think it was 2019 probably, or 20. So I just downloaded the Wings model and just comped it in.
Cool, man. It's looking good. I think you could do a better job with the cleanup. I feel like the cleanup, you're doing quite a lot of changes to the body surface. You see the skin here should be wider, and you see you've kind of cleaned all that out. You've made these patches of blur.
Yeah.
And you're losing a lot of detail on the skin. You're basically inventing. Look at this. You see the muscle and the shoulder line here? You've actually removed it. So you're actually removing too much of the real body shape to do this cleanup. And you still left a little bit of the markers there. So you need to be careful with this cleanup. It's not really working very well in terms of cleanup. You can still see parts of the tracker marker. You lost the definition of the muscle, and you can see the patches of blur, and it's really not well attached. Now, in terms of the wings are looking good. I think your grade went a bit too far. It's too dark. It's too contrasted.
I think your internet.
Sorry, what? Hello?
I think again something happened with the internet.
Okay.
I lost you for a few seconds.
Oh, sorry about that. So I was talking about the cleanup of the chess. So the cleanup of the chess, basically we can kind of see still pieces of the marker, and we lost this muscle definition here. You've removed it completely, and also you've left some patches.
I really never noticed the part of the marker that was. Yeah. When you put the color grade on, it's more visible. I really never noticed it.
Yeah, exactly. The color grade is a bit too much as well. It's too dark and it's too contrasted. It looks like a mistake. It looks like you've... I don't believe anyone would actually leave the shot so dark and so moody, because it almost looks like the exposure is wrong. And it's not really helping your shot.
I wasn't working on the final color correction. That was the DP.
I see. And I also say, you know, you mentioned that this was your first shot, right?
Yes.
This would be a perfect candidate for you to do it again in Nuke, you know, like for you to clean this up in Nuke and actually make this composite inside of Nuke. I do prefer the shot without the grade, by the way. I think it looks much better without the grade.
Hopefully I can find all the files and materials to work again.
If you can't,
this was like 4 years ago.
If you can't find the materials, then you should skip it from your showreel. You should just skip the shot. Yeah. And I think that's it. That's over. So well done, my friend. You're a good showreel. So let me just give you a real rundown. I think... Right now, I think your first shot looks good. You just need to take care of this second flare. This shot here, I would leave it. This one of the car. But just be aware of the details and the notes that we've mentioned. I would remove the motorbike completely. I would probably also remove this. I don't think it's good enough. Unless you can rebuild it. The woman with the bat. This one is okay if you can fix a few things. I also think this is okay. We've talked about the volume light. That would have been nice. I also think the cleanup, that's all good. You have some artifacts, but I think it's still good enough to keep it on the showreel. All of these shots should be kept, except the one with the bull. This one, of course, we have lack of hair detail, but you already know that. And I think you should remove this one. That is pretty bad cleanup. And then I would say that this one needs to be fixed as well with the tracking marker.
Okay.
And these are all good. That's all good. That's all fine. And then the Spider-Man looks great. I think you did a good job. I think the fire on the building needs some work for it to work well, to be more realistic. I would skip this woman here
Yeah,
completely.
definitely.
And then the wings, if you can find the files, maybe make it better. If not, remove it. So I think your
Okay.
showreel is in a good place, but there's a couple of things, as you saw, that need to be fixed. But it's good work. It's good work. You're talented. You have good work, and I definitely think you are doing the correct thing, learning Nuke. I think that's your next level. I feel very I really understand what's going on here because I was like you as well. I only used After Effects, and I can see when I look at your shots, I see the type of things that I used to do. You know, the exaggerated glows, the lack of light traps, the lack of detail on the hair, the lack of edges. All these problems were also the same problems I had when I used to use After Effects, because I used After Effects for 5 years before I moved into Nuke. But then in 2005, which was 19 years ago, I moved to Nuke. And so ever since I moved to Nuke, I still use After Effects a bit, but I just do the majority of my compositing inside of Nuke because it just has much more high quality tools to do certain things that you're missing on your shots. You'll
Yes,
find that it's
that's
much
what
more advanced.
definitely I want to do.
Yeah,
I
it
want
will
to
really
learn new
push
and
your showreel to a higher level. You really like feel like you've advanced much further. So cool, man.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you want to discuss or talk about, or?
No, not really. You said everything that I need to know. You said things that I really never thought about. So you helped me a lot.
Oh, you're too kind. I'm glad to help. I hope you don't get swayed by watching this review. Try to make it as constructive as possible. So good
Of
work, and
course, yes.
I hope you can come back and show me the evolution of your showreel. I hope you can return to the show here with a new showreel, and hope.
Well, give me at least a year.
Yeah, of course. No, I'm here. I've been doing the reviews since 2019, I think. So I'm here. So I've been
Okay,
doing them for
okay,
5 years now. So I'm here, and you can always join whenever you want.
okay.
So
You can expect me in the near future.
of course, of course. Well done. Good job, and good luck to everything. And thank you so much for submitting the showreel in such short notice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Okay, cool. Excellent. Okay, so just a quick note to the next review. I know we're a bit behind, so I hope you don't mind. So I know next up we have Berta. Hope we're fine. Like, I am so sorry that we're a bit behind. I know we should have started about 20 minutes ago. I'm just like making a post here for you. We are a bit behind, but I will be with you soon. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a 10-minute break as usual. This is, as you know, I've been doing this on my streams for years, 5 years now. And so we're gonna do a 10-minute break. I'm gonna time it. Make sure you get up from the chair, stretch your legs, rest your eyes for a moment, get some water, and I'll be back in 10 minutes. So be sure to, if you want, stick around. I'm going to post. There's going to be the commercial from BenQ again, and which are sponsoring this stream, and also you're going to have the opportunity to watch the trailer of my wife's book, Green Recipes for All, which is over here. So stick around during the break. You'll see the trailer for the book if you are interested, and I'll be back in exactly 10 minutes. And don't go anywhere. I'll see you all very soon. I'm just gonna run the commercials here. Let's see, where is it? And then we'll be right back in 10 minutes. Okay. I'll see you all very soon. Don't go anywhere.
Hello everyone! I'm super excited to give you a glimpse of my first cookbook, Green Recipes for All, featuring over 50 dishes inspired by amazing Mediterranean food. Inside, you can find recipes made with a variety of fresh, healthy, and versatile ingredients and popular plant-based products. These are great choices whether you already follow a plant-based diet or simply wish to cook a few weekly meat-free meals to reduce your overall meat consumption. In the book, you'll find a wide range of new and exclusive recipes, from soups and big salads to main courses and desserts, as well as some of the most popular recipes here on my channel, such as the perfectly cooked non-stick rice or the tabbouleh-style bulgur and mixed bean salad. Not forgetting a new version of the delicious tofu chocolate mousse. So, if you'd like to have a look at my book and try some of the recipes, just visit any Amazon marketplace and order a copy, which is available in hardcover, paperback or digital formats. Hope you enjoyed the book, have fun cooking, and see you next time.
Okay, we are back now. Thank you so much for sticking around. Hope you are enjoying the stream. Oh, sorry. We still have one more showreel to go, and then we'll do the giveaway. So I'm gonna put the link of the giveaway again on the stream. So if you want to earn the Nuke course, you can join the giveaway there. I also can put it on the screen as well. So that's the giveaway. That's the QR code, and that's the link as well. I put it on the chat now as well if you want to have a look. And while I'm doing that, while I have it on the chat there, it's so warm in the UK, so I'm gonna open up my green cola. Yeah, again, keep saying this every week. Not sponsored by Green Cola. I just feel that it's amazing. And it's really good for you because it's natural. It doesn't destroy your teeth. It doesn't have any nasty acids. And it doesn't have any preservatives. It's quite natural with natural caffeine as well. And it's really good. If you have the opportunity, you should give it a go. It's really good. That's such a nice sound. So, we have one more showreel to go. That's so nice. Okay, we have one more showreel to go. Okay, so that's the giveaways link in the QR code. Don't forget. Now, you also had the opportunity during the break to see the amazing book from Anna's book, which is available on Amazon. Don't forget, if you have anyone that likes good food, or if you want to try something new, vegetarian or vegan, maybe give it a go. It's available on paperback, hardcover, or Kindle on every Amazon in the world. The link on that QR code is Amazon UK, but you can buy it on the US, you can buy it on India, you can buy it on Germany, you can buy it on Japan. It's available on most Amazons. So, and then last but not least, just a quick note that my course is currently 50% off. So if you are interested on joining my course, all of them are 50% off, including the workshops, and also I've made a bundle as well if you are interested. So yeah, join if you want, or buy the book if you want. Support content creators like me. Support as much as we can so we can continue doing what we do. So with that in mind, let's move on to the next showreel review. So apologies again to Berta that been waiting for a while. I do apologize for that. So let's connect and see how we go. Let's see here. So I'm just connecting and checking. Okay, cool. So, okay. Can you hear me?
Hi, Hugo. Yes, I can hear
Yes.
you.
Hi, Berta. How are you doing? So let me just put this for everyone to see. Okay, cool. Oh, wait a minute. I know I'm correct. So yeah. So thank you so much for joining. I do apologize for the delay on the stream. Do
No,
apologize
don't
for that.
worry. I've been seeing it, so yeah, I saw that it was a huge showreel, really nice with a lot of different shots. So yeah, don't worry
Cool.
for that.
I'm glad to hear that. So tell me a little bit about yourself before we start and checking your work. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm Berta. I come from Barcelona and I'm 22 years old. And I just graduated from my 3D animation and VFX degree. So yeah, I'm like a newbie on this. I've been interested in Nuke since I discovered it in second year. And I'm not just a compositor, I'm also a 3D lighter. So yeah, my show reel is like a little bit mix of both. And most of my works are animation, but I'm starting to do like more VFX stuff because right now with all the situation in our industry, well, it's so hard to get the work. So yeah, I'm also interested in VFX. So I'm step by step learning more things about that either.
Cool. And Berta, are you planning to stay in Spain or are you planning to go somewhere else? Like, what's your plan?
Well, I love Barcelona and I love living here, but I don't have any problem with moving anywhere. Like, love to live somewhere else for a few years and then come back to Barcelona, maybe. I don't know. It depends on where the life
Yeah, of
goes.
course. Well, in
Yeah.
Barcelona, you would find there's quite a lot of studios and quite a lot of companies as well that are really
Yeah.
good, and also because you're inside European Union, you can also work remotely as well. And there's a couple of opportunities that you would probably work to companies outside Spain as well if you want to. Too. So it's a good
Yeah.
location and it's good weather as well. So
Yeah, I love it. I
okay,
think
cool.
you're from Portugal, right?
I am, yes, yes. I'm
Yeah, so
I'm
we are close.
Yeah, yeah. I'm originally from Porto, so I'm from the north of Portugal. Yes, but
Yeah,
I'm in the
more
UK
similar
right now.
weather to, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm in
Uh,
the UK now, so the weather is not that good. It's like rainy and soggy outside, as usual.
sad.
Okay, cool. So let me just I'm gonna put your showreel up so that everyone can see, and I'm gonna share my screen so that people can see it as well. So give me just a second here.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm gonna just share my screen here. Give me just 1 second, and then I'm gonna. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, cool. So go that way, and then go and stay here, so that everyone can see it as well. Okay, cool. So, okay, okay, cool. Okay, cool. So, I'm gonna share. Hopefully, you can see. Where's my? Oh, hopefully, you can see my mouse and you can see me moving your showreel. That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Because the stream is going to be very delayed, so we should probably not waste time watching it on the stream. And I'm gonna share my screen here so that everyone can see it. Okay, so I'm gonna be putting the showreel running. I'm gonna remove the sound because don't want to be claimed in YouTube because they are pretty nasty claiming with music.
Oh, yeah.
But so let's have a look at your showreel. We'll go shot by shot in a minute. But is this all of it personal work, or do you also have some professional work here? What's going on here?
Well, the one that you have already just seen, the two eyes is like the only professional project I've been on. All the rest of the projects are or personal projects or my final degree project and other people's final degree projects in which I worked with them to help them with their projects. So yeah, it's not professional, but it's neither personal. Maybe it's like a standby because I feel like the final degree project is like a full-time job. So
Okay. It definitely is.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So let's go through shot by shot then. I'm just like, am I a bit? What's coming in here? Sorry, my mouse is like, maybe the battery is gone, but I'm having like a lot of delay. Okay, here we go. Um, can we see your desktop? Oh, wait a minute. We can see that. That's okay. That's fine, Mikhail. They can see my desktop. I don't mind. I don't have anything to hide on my desktop. Mikhail is worried that I'm showing my desktop.
Uh,
That's fine. I don't really, Mikhail, I used to do these on Zoom, and Zoom would allow me to like have a much more slick presentation with the little screens and everything. And I'm now using Google Meet, and Google Meet is much worse than Zoom. But Zoom is, I as a principle, I refuse to use Zoom because Zoom, like they've put the price up like 3 times the price, and I just not using it anymore. If they are gonna put the price so much and spike the price so many times, I'm not going to be part of it. So that's why I'm using Google Meet. And Google Meet has this particularity that it's showing the desktop. So I apologize for that, Mikhail. But don't worry, there's nothing here. You can, of course, you can see all the softwares I have installed, but that's the only thing you can see. Okay, so Berta, let's start with this. So as you can see, your showreel says 3D lighting and compositing artist, which means it's a very generalist showreel. But I wanted to ask you first, like, what is your objective? Do you want to be a lighter, a 3D artist, or do you want to be just a composer? Do you want to be both? What's your plan?
Ideally, I'd love to work as a lighter and compositor in 3D projects like full CG projects. But if I had to choose between lighting and compositing, I think I stay with compositing.
Okay, cool.
Like this year, I've been the lead compositor of my group, and I had to discover like a lot of things and do a lot of I+D and search a lot. And I don't know, I had to create the entire pipeline either. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I
Cool.
probably stay with compositing.
Cool. One thing I would say is that as like being a 3D lighter and a compositor is a really good pick, because a lot of compositors are jumping into lighting, and a lot of lighters do compositing as well. And so, if you are a 3D lighter, you would always have to do comp one way or the other, especially if you're going to be pre-comping the shots to give it to the compositing department. So that's very typical. So that's a really good choice.
Yeah, but I want to go further, like from just a pre-comp. Like I want to make the entire comp.
Shots until the end.
Yeah.
But that's also very common. Like I still work with a lot of talented 3D artists that do comps all the way until the end. Both at the mill, at Sony, at Fire Smoke, even all the places that I've worked in my life, I've seen 3D artists doing shots until the end. So that's a very common thing that happens. So good on you. That's good. That you can take the shot and make it yourself, make it your own, until the end.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, so let's start with the first one. So final degree project, Baile con la Morte. And so what's going on here? What is this all about?
Well, my final degree project is like a love story between Sofia, which is the one who's driving the yellow car, and the death. And Sofia has just robbed the bank, and the police is pursuing her, and she kills them on all the way from the persecution, and then faces the death, and they fell in love, all that stuff. And at the end, Sofia refuses to be with him and takes her money and leaves. So yeah, that's a little bit like our project. It's a short film, and I was in charge of the lighting and comp departments, like entirely, and I made from the color script to the end.
Cool. Is this short film out already?
Well, not public.
Okay.
So I have just a few shots, like the maximum amount I can show, but. Yeah.
Do you have like it looks great? So I would love to see it. That's why I'm asking. Like
I can send it to you if you want.
But is it going to be out soon, or what's the plan?
Well, we are now starting our journey through festivals and all that stuff. So I think it will be live like in 1 year or so. And we are currently finishing it, so it's not 100% finished. But if you want, I can show like in private the short film for you.
Yeah, I think it looks. Yeah, I would love to see it. Absolutely. So from a point of view of lighting and compositing and 3D, I mean, it's a highly stylized project. So
yeah, it's hand painted.
Exactly. It's not supposed to be realistic. It's not supposed to be photoreal. But I do love the style that you've made. The lighting is looking really nice. I really like the details of the texture on the wood and everything, like on the hood, where you have these kind of like bricks and lines and squares that you have on the paint job, which is really nice. And I like your fog effects. It has a really cool look. Obviously, it's not going for realism, but it's fantastic. It looks great. It's well done to you and your entire team. One thing that already came up on the chat here was that someone was asking that the floor was kind of wet. Is that part of the script, that it's been raining or something? Or
yeah, the atmosphere is supposed to be like really wet, and at the end it starts raining, so it's like a pre-rain, everything like really wet. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's part of it.
I was gonna mention this, and I'm like Mikhail just did it before. I feel like Mikhail is doing the review these days, not me. Mikhail, thank you so much for all the input that you're giving. It's astonishing and amazing that you're supporting so much the stream. Thank you so much for that, Mikhail. And Mikhail has a really good point, which is although this is not supposed to be photoreal, it's supposed to be stylized. But even when you see very realistic renders from, a studio, an animation studio, even if it's Pixar or DreamWorks or any studio, they still have a little bit of realism on certain things. And if the floor is wet, then definitely it would have been nice if you could have some splashes here and there on coming out of the tires and coming out of the skittle, like when the tires are going so quick here, you see. It would have been nice if we could have seen some marks of water or some splashes coming out of them at a little contact point of the floor. It would have been cool, and especially as they are wet, what I would say is that when you look at the asphalt of the second shot, you see there, that's really nice with the wetness and the kind of like rough material of the asphalt going on there. It's a bit lost on this one, perhaps because it's so much motion blur
this
going
one
on.
I have to fix the
Yeah.
road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So maybe have a think about this. Have a think about putting some splashes of little tiny splashes of water. Maybe making a little of tire marks, of wet tire marks on the
And the road.
Yeah, I think it could be nice. Could be a quite cool thing to put in. It would.
Fine.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about it.
Yeah, it's cool. But yeah, it's a really, and especially when when the car is like squirking into the curve here, a few splashes there would have been nice as well. Okay, cool. So this is as one of the characters, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You're having quite a lot of noise on some of your textures and some of your renders. Are you dealing with that, or are you just gonna brute force it a bit more?
Well, the plan is to render it again with better quality, because it's a whip still. But yeah, I hope that with better quality this doesn't happen, and if this still happens, well, the noise and
Cool. Well, try your best. If not, you could always maybe try to go into Nuke, and if you dig into the AOVs that you have on your CG, maybe try to locate where the noise is coming from. And if you can find one of the passes, one of the AOVs having the noise, maybe you can try to denoise just that AOV. That could work,
yeah, it's a good point.
Maybe try that. One thing I wanted to ask you is the glass on the front of the car looks to me like it's not there. So you kind of need to work on that to have some kind of either dirt or texture or reflection, something on, because it looks like he's just going without a glass on the front of the car,
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I already need to work better, but yeah, I should
Yeah.
fake it on the Nuke.
I think you need to fake it a bit more. I think you need to see maybe either you need to put in the tip of the reflections going on top. That would help. If that doesn't help, you can always put a very subtle dirt pass on top of it as well, with a few wet patches, maybe because of the wetness of the road. Maybe there's a few drops or some parts of wet, or maybe even the typical line of the wiper. Maybe the wetness of the wiper could be a good trick to make it look more like that there's glass there. So. Yeah.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that
I
could
will
help.
do it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, one other thing that I just wanted to mention. No, that's not. Never mind. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the next one. So, next one, you have something called Violet Mistake video clip. So, what is this all about? Tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, so a friend of mine was doing a video clip for Violet Mistake, which is a band from here. And he asked me if I could do a clean plate from the sunglasses, because they recorded it. And yeah, so you can see like them recording. Yeah.
Yeah, the crew is
Like,
there on both of them.
it's not a lot, but yeah, I had to do the clean plate from the sunglasses.
Did you forget to remove it on the other glasses, or is it not the
No,
clean
it's the
plate?
other guy.
Oh, that's the other guy. Yeah, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Oh, he's so far away then. He's quite far away then. I thought he was
Well,
closer. Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I think
Yeah,
it's like for the focus of the camera.
yeah, you're right.
Because
You're right.
the view is like really, really farther.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's very well done. As far as I can see, I don't really, there is. When I look at your comp without the grades, I don't know if this is from the encoding of your showreel or if it's from your plate itself, but it looks like there's like one frame of a cleanup splash that shows up here. So if you look, see if I can find it now. You see there, like it just in here it's not gray, and then it's darker. So there's something moving here that is
okay.
happening. Obviously, it's not a problem when it's in black and white. So that's,
Yeah.
we don't see it. So it's not something you should worry about, but just keep in mind that it looks to me like there's something popping there. It's not a problem this time, but be aware in the future when you do things like this, because sometimes when we're doing compositing, we are not sure how the grade will go. And so
Yeah.
imagine if they would have made it much brighter, then they would have seen it, So just be aware of those things. It's not something you need to fix this time because we don't see it on the final comp. So cool. That's good work there. Okay, so CG compositing integration personal project. So tell us a little bit about this, Berta.
Well, this one, a teacher from the university gave it to me, and I thought it was really interesting. Like, I had to replace all the stuff, do the CG integration at the end, the match it with the guy and recreate a fake flare to have it on the top, like
Yeah.
if it was like the original robot drone that was there. And the sad part is that it is a static shot, but I really enjoyed it doing it. So, and I think it ended quite good.
Yep,
So
it
that's
did.
why
It
I
did.
put it here.
A couple of things that I would say. Well, first off, props for putting in the light the light interaction to being there and actually showing up on the image, which is nice. That helps a lot. But when I look at your key, there's two things that come to mind. First of all, it looks like the plate of the person when I look at the original plate, which is... Where's the original plate? The original plate is there.
Yeah.
So that's when... Let's see here. So, yeah, that's the when it swaps. You see how sharp the jacket is and how sharp he is? It looks to me like that something was done and he is blurred. Is this a choice? Or is it something going on here? Because he's more blurred now.
I
You see?
think maybe it was like
You
my
think
fault.
it's... Okay.
Yeah.
Lost an opportunity there to say, yeah, it was always the intention.
Nah, but if it's not, it's not,
No, I know, I'm joking. But yeah, it looks to me like somehow it got blurry. Maybe sampled somewhere. Maybe there's some transform, some blur
Yeah.
somewhere. So because you've lacked some detail both on the skin tone here and also on the jacket, the entire plate looks like it's slightly blurred. Then
Yeah.
the other thing as well is I'm missing the eyelashes. I'm missing some parts of his beard. I'm missing more detail on the hair here. And I'm missing this line is a bit slightly cut as well. So your rotoscoping and keying needs some work. Especially the edge work and especially the details of these little flocks of hair of the beard. They're all gone. So be careful with these things. Obviously, it depends on what you do in the future. Like, so I've worked with a lot of 3D artists that don't do these things. Like, a lot of 3D artists do the full comp and then they have either roto support from roto artists or they have roto support from a compositor. And so the compositing, the rotoscoping and keying would have been done by someone else. And then they would have been delivered to the 3D artist and the 3D artist would have used that in comp. but just be aware that you're missing these things.
Yeah.
So either someone else has to do it, or you have to try to achieve that yourself.
Well, I want to learn to do it, so
Of
yeah,
course,
I
of
have to
course.
improve it. At
Um,
least to know how it's done.
I'm mentioning this because I've met a lot of 3D artists in my life, and they always don't want to do roto. They hate it, and so they're always like, "No, I'll give it to the composer. He'll do it." And so that's why I'm
No, I
saying,
don't hate it. I just have to be better.
yeah. Cool. Okay, so then the other thing. So apart from the blur and apart from the edges, I think you did a really good job with the background. The background looks to me like you've made a good job with the light, with the black levels. It looks kind of like it fits correctly. Now, it would have been nice if you would have maintained this level of light. You see, when you look at this lamp, we
Yeah,
see
it's much brighter.
a very core bright, and then a much more staggered, diffuse lighting, exponential glow. And I think your glow needs to be more spread. You need to have the interior is fine, but it needs to spread wider, so that you get more exponential variation between the light. That's missing, which is on your plate. Although I know the light on the plate is smaller, but even if it's smaller, it should scattered more, like you have on the plate. It would have, I think, it would have looked more realistic as well. If you would have done
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, good point.
yeah. So cool. So good work on this shot, but there's some work to do for you to get it to be perfect. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So tell us a bit about this.
This
What's going on here?
one is from another final degree project from last year, in which I collaborated and I did the entire lighting and compositing. I had a few guides for the lights, but I made them from scratch. Like I just had the colors, and the rest was my job.
Yeah, this looks great.
And
This
2D
looks really
effects
good.
are not mine; they were added like on the final.
Yeah, but this looks yeah. You're talking about these ones, right? Like these.
Yeah.
This looks great. Like I think the entire thing, the colors that you've picked, the glows, the glasses, the stylization of the 3D. This looks fantastic. So it's very well done. Very cool shots. Is this also from a short film?
Yeah, it's
It-
another short film.
Is that short film out already as well?
I know they presented it to the rookies, but
Ah,
I
cool.
don't know if it's live.
Cool. Well, cool. Well, if it is, maybe if we can, yeah, let me know. Let me know. Maybe you can send me on Discord or
for
something
sure.
the link or
I can
something.
send you some of the ones that are live from other years that are super interesting, and
Cool. Love
yeah.
to see them. I would love to see them. Yeah, this looks great. Okay, cool. I don't really have anything to say because this is not really anything that you would mention in terms of compositing or in terms of
Yeah.
lighting, because it's a highly stylized project. It looks really pretty. It looks really beautiful. I mean, I don't really have anything to say. It looks great. Okay, cool. So next one, we go back to Baile con la Morte, the first short film we saw. And so
this is the moment when they fell in love. They are like in an onirical world. And yeah, I had to create the entire background in Conf. It's a mix between a background that they gave me from VFX, which was like a space, and I had to make it hand painted. And with help of other people, I made these scratches. Like I put it like hand painted brush marks on the highlights on the darker tones. There are some more, and a lot stuff with smart vectors, either to have a wavy movement
yeah,
and all of that for the background, which is in most of the cases the focus.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool. It looks really good, really beautiful. Keep quick note: you have a collision of geometry there, so you need
Yeah.
to paint that out, or you need to fix it in 3D.
Yeah, it's not the final version.
Yeah.
So
Quick note for the chat about this. Like, this happens all the time, these type of collisions. And over my career, this keeps happening all the time. Little small pops and little collisions. And sometimes we kind of run out of time to fix it in 3D. And so in my career, I've seen both my colleagues and also myself, a lot of times we paint these things because sometimes we ran out of time to render again, or the forum is busy with another project. And so then we need to kind of like go in and paint. So for all the 3D artists listening today, make sure you learn a little bit of how to paint in Nuke, because sometimes it will be faster to paint stuff like this than to actually go back and fix it in 3D. Sometimes, not always, but if you have the opportunity, I would always advise everyone to go back to 3D and fix it, of course. But if you don't have the opportunity, then painting is a good solution, you know. So
Yeah, Nuke it's always faster than a render.
yeah. You also have the same thing with the straps of her as well. They go into the body and out of the body, and especially here they're gone. They're coming into the body. So and then they come back again. So I think that only happens on her back. And also like it's a bit arched as well. I think gravity would not really work that way. So you need to kind of think about being maybe straighter and not so rounded here, because it would have been like holding the weight and not with gravity, so it not so fit. So I think those things also, I think that's the only two collisions that I can see. Let's see the rest here.
I have to re-render it again because I have a new animation of that shot.
Cool.
But I think maybe a good way to solve it in Nuke could be smart vectors, maybe, or estimaps, something like that.
To fix
Yeah.
could be.
Strides.
Yeah, that
maybe
could be a good idea. If you can't fix it in 3D, if you're having difficulties of it staying where it should be, yeah, you could do that. So this is a small thing, but I don't even know if you want to go into this, but because it's quite a lot of work. But I kind of feel like when they are touching, especially the hand on the back here is a bit better, but it kind of feels like, you know, when you're faking to hold someone, you're like slightly over someone and you're not really attached to the person. Kind of feel like that. Not so much on the hand on the back, it's just a little bit, that one. But the ones on the front, she's almost like not really wanting to touch him. So you be careful with those things, because I think it should be closer and actually interacting a bit more with the jacket. And I know that's very difficult because you would have to be very careful with the collisions, and then the jacket would have to have dynamics. It would have to have simulations for it to actually hold in with the actual pressure of the hands. But I would suspect that she would really be touching him since they're about to kiss, you know. So yeah, maybe consider that. Maybe see what you can do to make it look like it's closer, you know. So
yeah, for sure. If they don't do it in animation, I will touch the alembic, so don't worry.
Yeah, of course. Like maybe talk with them, you know, about that, and see if that's possible to fix it. The Keanu Reeves hand, that's nice. The Keanu Reeves. Someone on the chat. Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. Cool. So let's move on. Then they kiss. Yeah, those are really beautiful shots. You did a great job with the background. The lighting is really beautiful as well, and the diffuseness and the color choices are really nice. So you did a great job. Yeah, I really like the style as well, with the little scratches and the lines and the whole style of the animation, and also the kind of blocky hair. It's really, really nice. Really well done.
Thank you. It was a lot of work and a lot of research to find the style. So
I bet. Yeah, no, it looks really nice. Do they kiss or do you cut before?
They don't kiss.
Okay. Okay, cool. So next up, I was asking this because it's always tricky with the collisions when they kiss.
No,
It's always like really tricky. The mouths go in and
there's
then.
there's just a plot twist in that moment. So yeah, perfect for not having a kiss.
Okay, cool. Okay, next up we have here personal project. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about this.
Well, I made everything from here, like from this is Barcelona, this is Passeig de Gracia, and I went there with my camera and recorded a video from there, with the planning to integrate a spaceship, which is also from another project that they lent me, and I wanted to practice my compositing skills, and yeah, I thought this was a cool exercise to do it. So
Yeah,
yeah, I made it 100% at home with the help of one of my best friends, which is also a composer. So
yeah,
yeah,
cool. Well, a couple notes that I would say. Like first off, small note: you have a lot of noise happening on this opening here,
yeah,
especially this little speckler here. It's really noisy. So if you can't fix this in 3D, since the spaceship hardly moves, what you could do is you could use a frame hold or use a static frame and then track in the static piece of that, and then it wouldn't flicker anymore. So that could be one solution. The other solution would be going through the UVs to see if you can denoise the one that is causing the problem, which most likely
yeah,
is the specular pass. That's what it looks
yeah. I
like.
guess it's always a specular.
Yes. The other thing as well is I'll get to the shadow. Don't worry, Christopher. I'll get to the shadow. So another thing as well is the depth of field. So when you look at the shot, like it's quite sharp. You can see this building here is quite sharp still. This definitely is fully sharp. I'm assuming this was filmed with a very wide lens and an f-stop that was pretty high, probably. And so with that in mind, I don't really buy that you would have depth of field on these lights inside the ship. I feel they should be sharp. I think the whole ship would be sharp. There's not enough defocusing on this lens and on this plate for the ship to be defocused. I think you can have a little bit of blur and a little bit of defocus, but it needs to be a lot less. So and it's especially these, which I'm assuming these are like windows inside the ship, right?
No, they are actually lights.
They're lights, okay. So
Yeah.
so I would assume that they would not be far enough away to be so defocused. So I think you need to kind of like make it a bit sharper. Now, for me, the biggest problem with the shot right now, the shot looks. Don't get me wrong, the shot looks great. I just feel like these are extra things you need to put in and consider when you do these kind of things, especially when you're saying CG integration. And I feel like you're really missing more shadow into the building. So this spaceship is huge, and so being so huge, I'm assuming it still continues to the front a lot. And so this building would be in shadow a lot more than it is right now. Um, Also, I feel like the reflections on the windows would not be so blue because they would not pick up so much sky because the spaceship is so big on screen that it would be covering the sky. So the reflections would be less blue. The buildings would be more on shadow. I don't really believe that this traffic light would be still with lighting. I don't even believe that this light should be here. So you need to be careful with these things because you just put such a big object there. I think it would probably put the whole street on shadow. So it's a bit tricky. So either you need to go in and using masking, you can color correct down these lights or clean up the shadows, or you need to just maybe you can live with this one because we never know. Maybe the sun is coming from the side and hitting there, but definitely make a more pronounced shadow on overhaul on the shot.
Yeah.
So
No,
and
yeah.
so and also Mikhail has a really good point. Like the sun is almost at the edge of the ship. Assuming the sun
It
is like
it does
somewhere.
have.
It's what?
Some, but they are like super small because I didn't want it to be like the focus. They have some good rays and a flare, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But I think you would have a bit more. I agree with Mikhail. You would have a little bit more of that coming in. I think if you fix those things, and then the other thing as well is like as we have light coming from the side, and this would be sharper and it would produce a little bit more shadow, not too much, but a little bit more shadow. I think the ship underneath would be a bit less hazed, and especially on this side, I think it would be
more darker, right?
yeah, a little bit darker because it's not picking up sun from that side. So, especially when you look at the black point of the shot, you kind of or having a lot of black areas on the windows and on the buildings here, and your ship, especially on the left side, needs to be darker, to match that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is probably the shot that has more notes from me, like from all of the ones that you showed so far. So it's a good shot, but I think it's still a bit far from being a good like a shot to be an accomplished shot.
Okay, yeah, I will keep working on it. No problem.
Cool, excellent. Okay, cool. So now tell me a little bit about this.
This one is from another student short film. Well,
Yeah.
this is a trailer. And yeah, I was in charge of lighting and compositing. This one doesn't have a lot of comp. It's mostly lighting. It's the typical comp where you just put the typical notes and tone. But the character is being pursued by the police, and they are like lighting them with linterna. I don't know how
Yeah,
to
a
do
flashlight.
it.
Yeah. Lanterna. Yeah. It's the same word in Portuguese.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, lanterna. Yeah.
So yeah, it's more like a typical 3D project. So yeah, that's
Cool.
why.
It looks great, but it looks to me like there is filled. I don't know what's going on, but
Yeah,
it-
I think it's a compression from Premiere because I
Okay.
have it in a sequence of PNGs, but when I put it in Premiere at the export, it's like everything messes up.
well, I looking at this just right now, like I think this is a fill domination problem. So it looks like somehow either your Premiere project or the sequence or the files or with interlace footage. So you need to look into that because either the settings of the timeline are set to interlace, looks like it's
Yeah.
field dominance down, or you need to like change it to progressive. So you need to like look into that because it's very difficult for you for me to judge the CG because there's not a single frame without this, So I can't really. Looks nice to me, but I would skip any feedback because I can hardly see it.
Yeah.
So maybe have a look to see if you can find a way to not have interlace artifacts. See if it's look at the settings of Premiere and see if it's set to interlace or if it's set to progressive. I think that's
Yeah,
what's happening here.
I tried to change to the interlaced, all that stuff, but even with the change, it was still with this. So
Okay. Did you
I
do you
have
know
to keep looking for it.
the CG render that was done?
Yeah.
Was it done where? Was it Maya as well in Arnold?
Yeah,
right?
it's Maya. Yeah.
And when you rendered it out, like, did you render it in interlace or was it rendered in progressive?
Well, I haven't rendered it because it was from another project.
Okay.
But
Maybe
I
have a
don't
look
know.
at that because it could also be that, you could render interlaced material inside 3D. So maybe it's the file itself that is interlaced. The actual render is interlaced. Could be.
I will take a look because
Yeah.
from this project, I always have this problem. I
On
don't know
all
why.
shots?
Maybe it's from all the shots that I have from this project.
Then it looks to me like this could be an interlace problem from the render then. But yeah, have a look, try to investigate a bit, try to see what's happening there. Okay, cool. So we then go back to Baile con la Morte.
Baile con la muerte.
Okay, cool. So this is another shot.
Yeah, this is one from the beginning when we don't know yet who is him. Like he's a dead, so yeah, at the beginning it's like really dark. You barely see who is there. It's like a mysterious character, and the only thing you can see is like him lighting his cigarette while he's doing a coffee and a cigarette. You know, the most typical things we
Yeah,
do.
looks great. Very, very nice inspiration from Spider-Man, from the Spider-Man
It's more
movies.
from Intergalactic actually.
Oh, okay, cool. Cool. I would say though, like the smoke, I really like the way you're doing the smoke. It's like smoke that you guys done is like this kind of lines. This is really nice. It's a really nice idea. To make these kind of like drawing lines for the smoke. Never seen that before. It's a really nice idea. If anything, the only thing I would say is that, you know, because you've lit this up so much with a lighter, I think it would have been nice if the glow would have been a bit stronger. I feel like that would make it a bit nicer, and also if the glow is a bit stronger. I don't know if you've seen this in photography and on film, but sometimes when the camera is with the f-stop really, really low, even the glow of the cigarette would lit up a little bit the scene. So it would have been nice if you had more glow on the cigarette and then pick up a little bit of light coming on the fingers. That would have been nice. I think it would have been a nice touch.
For sure. I will not. It's an emission, so I can't put it.
Wait a minute, because I think your cable of your microphone must be stuck on something. I'm hearing a lot of interference suddenly. I don't.
Maybe it's
Okay.
like because it's really hit here. Now it's better.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't the fan. It's like
Oh,
I'm talking about is the. You can turn on the fan. It was like interference of being stretched or yeah. It's gone now. It's all good now. So, but please put the fan because it's. I understand it's really warm. So I wasn't listening to the fan. It was just like suddenly it was like really interference. But now it's gone. Now it's good. Don't worry. It's all good now. Okay, cool. So
can you hear me?
yeah, can hear it perfectly
Yeah.
now. Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, it's working.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask you: are these two shots supposed to be together on the film?
No, they
Okay.
are actually not together. But
Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. Cool. Yeah. And
because
then you.
in the first one there are no plugs, and in this one there are. There's a shot in between that is when they appear. But yeah, I haven't put it here because it was not lighted by me. So
Yeah, of course. Okay. Cool. Okay. Cool. Yeah, they look really great. It's the same style as the rest. So tell us a little bit about this, like the Spider-Man test that you've made here. What's going on here?
yeah, this was a personal project. I always loved the cyberpunk style. It's a spider one, but I wanted not to it to be so Spider-Verse. Like, yeah, it's a Spider-Man, but it's more like a cyberpunk style. And yeah, I'm with I put it the entire city. A friend of mine made the animation, but I have to ask to another friend for a new animation.
Yeah, the
'Cause,
animation is a bit stiff, for
yeah,
sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would
and
definitely. And you're missing the web as well, like the
yeah,
line. Yeah,
because I don't want to do it if I don't have the final animation.
of
You
course.
know.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's looking good. I can't. Like, yeah. So this is once you get better animation, you get a web. This is gonna look good. So you're getting a lot of pixelization, by the way, on the lines here on the character. I'm not sure what's going on there. You see the pixels
Yeah,
there? So it
yeah.
looks like it's low resolution or
It's
something.
No, it's because of the alpha. Because when I did this exercise like some months ago, I didn't knew why my alphas were not fully 100% white. But now with all the experience from Baila con la Muerte, I know how to solve it. I just have to do it again.
Okay, cool.
It's
Yeah.
for the haze, the atmosphere volume. That
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I won't really say anything then about this shot since it's really incomplete. So you'll continue working on it, and I can't wait to see a final version, of course. Okay, so then we go back to the project, the short film. This looks really creepy.
Yeah.
So
This is
okay.
like the world from the death. This is where when he kills the characters, and it's like a transformated version of him. I also created the entire background
Mhm.
with a similar style from the pink one, but um, more darker, and you know, it has actually more work than the pink one.
Cool. I like it. One thing I would say to you is like I think you did a good job with the first one. So ever so slightly I feel like it the glow inside the core could be just ever so slightly brighter, just like you have it on this side. And I think on this shot works really well, but it doesn't really work as well on this one. So you see they're looking a bit clamped. It looks like you're losing some detail and it's a bit gray. I think you need to pump the light a bit more into the core of these glows. They're not pinking because usually with depth of field, anything that is very bright becomes very overexposed. And so you having that happening on this shot, but then it's not happening on this one. So be aware of that you're losing some dynamic range on this background on the second shot, you know,
Okay, yeah.
and which you have very nicely on the sole here that he's cutting, which is really nice. Okay, and that's the end. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
same shots we saw before. Cool, excellent. Okay, cool. Well, I think overall, your showreel obviously, just like you explained on the beginning, it's very towards animation, absolutely. So it has some really good work. Now, one thing that you need to kind of, I guess, make a decision like your showreel is very good for animation, and so you would be a good fit for a studio that would do a lot of animation. Don't get me wrong, but I think the less the parts that are not as well achieved or the more realistic parts, and so that's probably it. If you want to continue evolving in animation, that's one thing. But if you want to continue evolving on realism, then shots like this one, the spaceship, and shots like the dude with this robot here need to improve in terms of quality. And so you have like a choice to make. Either you start evolving your skill set to a more realistic compositing and 3D skill set, or you can double down in doing even more animation and work on that side. It really depends where you want to do in the future, Berta. And I think obviously I don't believe you can be good at everything. That's impossible. But you need to kind of really think about that, because when I look at your showreel in general is a bit of a problem because it becomes confusing for a recruitment person, or even for someone trying to hire someone, because you have a lot of animation, but then you have these attempts to do realism, and all of them are a bit incomplete. So which one do you want? Is it better for you to have two showreels, or is it better for you to have one showreel that's only animation, or
I
one
have two
showreel that
show
has...
reels
Sorry?
actually. I my main show reel is 100% animation,
Yeah, I see. Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah.
I think from an animation point of view, you are very talented, and I think definitely that's your strongest skill set by far. And I think that's the showreel you should be sending out to. Your composting side, I think, needs more work. That's the thing. Your more realistic side, you know, like I think you did a good job with the glasses here. This is great, but as you saw, I only had notes for the shots that have footage in them. Like the keying and the roto is a bit subpar here, and then the lighting integration of the spaceship on the city was also missing a few things. And so I think just have a think about that, and if you want to have a more compositing driven showreel, then you need to either have better quality and need to fix those problems, or you need to also develop new shots to have a longer showreel for just that, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, but always keep that in mind that a lot of studios want someone that is doing a specific task. And so unless you're applying yourself for commercials, or if you're applying yourself for maybe a studio that then does game trailers or cinematics, or if it's those kind of studios, then it's a bit of a different conversation. But to
Yeah,
work in...
I actually, I think I could match with maybe publicity studio, or I really love cinematics, and I'd love to work there. But yeah, I'm looking for where's my path. So
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right now, I think your showreel would struggle to be picked if you, for example, imagine you send your showreel for a film position. I think
yeah,
it would be a struggle because it doesn't really have the requirements of what they're looking for. But for an animation studio or for a CG studio, it definitely ticks all the boxes. And I think it really has a good style, and you have good taste in color and composition and lighting, and so it's very artistic as well. It has a lot of style to your shots, and so well done. I think your animation parts of your showreel are really good. Yeah, keep going,
thank you.
because you're very talented and you're very young as well, and so this is just the beginning. Like you should continue pushing that forward, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I just graduated, so yeah, I want to keep learning. I want to go much further. I want to start working to really start learning like much further and see what supervisors can teach me on all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Excellent. Well, is there anything else that you want to talk about, or you have any questions or anything that you would like to say?
No, I think it was like pretty complete. Thank you so much for all your feedback, and I will try to put it as much as I can. you know.
Not a problem. Not a problem. You're always welcome, Berta. Like, just contact me again if you want to. We have a lot of artists that have returned to the Showreel Review, and we've seen their evolution. We've even had artists that came 3 times here to see
Oh yeah.
the evolution. So you're always welcome to come back. Just contact me. I would love to see more. I would also love to see the short films, so please do send them back as well for us to see.
For sure. Yeah.
And yeah, I'd love to see that. And good luck with everything. And have a great day.
Thank you so much, Hugo,
No
and hope you
problem.
have a great day, dear.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, cool. That was excellent. So thank you so much, Berta, for taking the time to do the showreel review. We are now at the end of our stream. As always, you know that we do the giveaway at the end. Remember that. Oh, and by the way, I need to tell everyone that the next stream, which I haven't posted or told anyone about yet. So the next showreel review is going to be in September because I'm doing a break, but the next stream is going to be very special. That's going to be on the 22nd of August. And that is to celebrate the anniversary of my YouTube channel. So that is to celebrate the 9th anniversary. So we're going to be 9 years in August. We're already so the anniversary stream will be on the 22nd of August. And we're going to be doing a mixture of things. And so one of the things that I'm most excited about is that I'm going to do like a radio show where I'm going to have people call in and people are going to talk to me. And so it's going to be very exciting. That's going to be in 2 weeks from now on the 22nd of August. And that's to celebrate the 9 years of Hugo's Desk. And can't wait to celebrate next year. It will be 10 years of Hugo's Desk next year. I can't believe that I've been doing this for 10 years now. That is insane. Yeah, it should be on the 25th. Yes, you're all right, Mikhail. Well spotted. But 25th is a Sunday. And I don't usually stream on Sundays. I don't also want to I don't want to ruin anyone's weekend. And so I usually stream on Thursdays, and so I'm moving the stream to Thursday on the 22nd. A few days before. The real anniversary is the 25th. But hey, give or take, it would be a few days off, a few days in, and it's all the same, really, because I did my YouTube channel a few days before anyway, so it would have been around this week, the anniversary. But well spotted, Mikhail. Thank you so much for saying that. Okay, so let's see here. So we have, remember, we have the giveaway. Let's do the giveaway and see what the giveaway brings us. So I will promote the stream. Don't worry. Everyone will know on my social media what the stream of the anniversary will be like. But now let's just do the giveaway and see who won the course. And then we are done for today. Okay, so we have a total of 50 people. Oh, thank you so much, Mikhail, for saying that. It is, give or take, a decade. We have around 50 people that are here to win the course. Let's draw the winner and see who won, and then we can go. We've been here for 3 hours already, so more than enough time. Okay, so we have a winner here. Hopefully they're here. If they're not, they roll the dice again. Remember, I always say this, that they need to be here to win it. So let's see here. So the winner of the Nuke course is... let's see. And again, I apologize by the noise that I have on my stream. I do apologize, the microphone noise. I need to get to the bottom of that. Okay, so the winner is at Biba and Boba. At Biba and Boba. They are the winner of the Nuke course. Hopefully they're here and they can shout out if they are here so that I can say something as well. Or are you here? That's your ex? Okay. Well, that's the only name I have here on my side. Congratulations, my friend. You have won my Nuke course. And congratulations. Oh, hi, Sajal. You just arrived just at the time that I'm finishing. We're about to wrap up the stream. But thank you so much for coming in, and thank you so much for saying hello. Welcome, everyone. Please welcome Sajal, our moderator. Thank you so much for being so kind with your time. I just mentioned to everyone, Sajal, that in 2 weeks from now, on the 26th of August, we're going to do the stream, which is the anniversary of Hugo's Desk. That is the 9th year of Hugo's Desk. Not the 10th, the 9th. So I've been doing this shenanigan for 9 years now. Okay, so congratulations, Mercantilist. You've won the Nuke course. So I will be in contact with you and send you the course in a couple of days. So congratulations. And again, once again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all the love and support. We had 305 people coming in and viewing the stream. Give or take, we had about 300 people coming in and out of the stream. So thank you so much for all the lovely support. It is amazing to see. And I'll see you all in 2 weeks. Remember, the stream of the anniversary of Hugo's Desk will be in 2 weeks. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff, including a radio call-in show, so people can call in and chat with me. I'm going to make an open Google Meet Google Meet link, so that everyone can join. And so, yeah, I guess that's it for today. Thank you so much again for joining. I'll see you in 2 weeks on the anniversary. Have a great time. I'll see you all later. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much for everything. And I'll see you on the